to the topic of the day. The first one is Lagos State's ban on styrofoam. That came out, I think, was on Sunday. Yes, Sunday in the evening, and then became a big blow on Monday and during the week. Reactions here and there, just as we have seen in the reports, to talking about okay the dangers associated with it. First of all, I'll have to ask you. So I'll be starting with Dr. Kayode in the studio. Do you think this is a well thought out policy? I mean, given environmental factors, health factors, as mentioned earlier, do you think this is a well thought out policy by the state government?
You see, when the governor of Lagos State came up with that policy, I have to first of all go and study what is even styrofoam. To be able to, because I'm not a chemist. Do you understand? Yeah. And for me to be able to assess it, that's where I do my things. I first of all do a kind of analysis on the keywords. Styrofoam, what is it? It's a kind of an object whereby they use in producing some polypropylene products. Do you understand? Like, for instance, all these foam-like objects that they use in packaging inside cartons, so that it won't shift to prevent it from breaking. All these damage. You know, they call them fragile goods. You know, you use it to, for instance, those people that have bought of recent, maybe TV sets, refrigerators, gas cooker, you see by the side of those cartons that they use to guide them. Okay, they also use such things in making these takeaway packs. Not the transparent ones. You know, those colored ones. They color them in blue, purple.
We usually call them disposable.
Do you understand that? Even sometimes you can break them. Like, I mean, I'm only saying this so that our viewers will be able to understand the effects. Do you understand? Now, when you're looking at that, some of these things, when you use them to pack hot foods, they emit into those foods that you are eating. And a further study had shown, not my own study, the one I read, had shown that when you keep on consuming things like that, all those emissions from those products into your food, along the line, cancerous cells will be building up inside the body. It will be building up. That is, it cannot make people to be amenable to cancer. All right? That is health hazard. Come to environmental. To what extent have we been able to dispose some of these takeaways? How have we been disposing them? Go to car parks, go to mechanic villages, go to even the streets. You see, after using them, people will just drop them on the floor. Okay, what is the effect? When rain falls, it picks them away to the drainage and block the drainage.
So you are agreeing with the Lagos State government on the ban?
Yes. Well, I don't just want to agree with them without giving reasons why I am agreeing with them. But again, when you are now banning such, because people, they've got to live, either you like it or not, what alternative are there to replace all these products? Do you understand? Because I cannot tell you that, hey, listen, I don't like, you're weak, without providing are very table.
Are you seriously saying you don't like my wig?
I'm just using it as just using it as an example. It's cool on you, okay?
Thank you.
But I have to give you a better alternative. So those people that are producing that, number one, those people that are selling it, number two, those people that are using it, number three, those are the stakeholders within that product. What alternatives are there for them to fall back on? Because those producing them, they have to feed, they have to live. Are you now saying when you ban it, they will just be thrown like that into unemployment market? Those people that are selling all those derived employment along the production of that thing, what are they going to be doing?
Okay,
then those people using it, what will they have to use as an alternative?
All right, let me hear Dr. Olorinda's view on that.
I have an alternative when we get there.
No problem. So Dr. Olorinda, are you still with us?
I'm still with you.
Okay. So, do you think this is a well thought out policy by Lagos State government? Dr. Kayode in the studio agrees with the government to an extent, hoping that there should be an alternative. So, what do you have to say to that?
Okay, I think to the extent that is on health and environmental considerations, I think I will agree, because I've also listened to other analysis of the health challenges that the use of that they pose to our head, especially when at parties, at all the people's food sellers, take away and all of that, and they use it to sell food, to package food, and the challenges that are how it contributed to cancer, health problems in our nation, and for how it is disposed of, because we find it blocking our drainages, getting to the water bodies, and the challenges that it poses to the aquatic life and all of that. So I think the government coming to that conclusion, that decision, they must have been privy to some knowledge, some information that they think is not in the interest of the public, if that is not taken out. So I think to that extent, I agree that the government has the interest of the populace in mind, and to think of the alternatives. Okay, what were they using? Because before the advent of this plastic, what were they using?
Okay,
were using something, because I know it's so I know that there were alternatives. So the government should look at the alternative that can be used.
Okay, so okay, Dr. Kayode said he will give us alternative, but before we get there, what I really wanted us to focus on is the sudden announcement. As you mentioned earlier, fine, alternative is one, but then there are people who have this thing in stock already. And then the government is coming out the second day to say they are going to clamp down on manufacturers, producers, distributors. So don't you think there is supposed to be maybe a duration in place for this thing to fade out of the market? That is to you, Dr. Olorinda. Don't you think, because it just came all of a sudden, and do you expect people that have it in their stores already to just go dispose it of? They are going to run into debt. So looking at that, still that same question, do you think this is a well thought out policy? Yes, on the hazards, talking about environment and health, very great. But putting people into consideration, do you think this government really did well on that?
Okay, if you ask me that, I will say, because of the information that I now have, there's no way I, as an individual, we touch that kind of plastic. If you use it to serve food for me or anywhere, I won't take it, because I'm going to be thinking of my health. So if you are thinking, should we give time? I think the analysis that I listened to about the impact, the negative impact of it on our head, how it's responsible for cancer and all of that, you will not, if everybody's, if that information is available to a lot of people, from tomorrow, even from the day the announcement was made, nobody will be allowed to be served. So it now depends on what you want. What is our priority? Is that if our priority is about, okay, it's everywhere. They've been the manufacturers are there, the employment that they generate, all those ones we have to go. All the people who have loaded those material in their warehouses, how they are going to lose because they are going to go after them and all of that. So what is going to be the starting point? So probably we are going to say, okay, let's give it to the end of this year because there are companies that exist manufacturing those items. There are people who employment are based on selling those items. So it's the value chain. If you're going to consider all of that, you probably will not be able to end it.
Based on that purely, exactly.
So we have to decide what it is. But I think government will be able to know that the impact of it is not good, so they want to stop it.
So we are going to have to run into this and
that is
lose
where
their jobs then.
That is where integrity.
Okay, so
when you look at integrity, it's a very wide subject. One Yoruba adage came to my mind now. Ẹni jalè lẹ́ẹ̀kan tó bá dàrán borí aṣọ lè ló dàbòrà. That is, whoever has stolen once, even if he has stopped stealing, let him be hardworking now. No matter what, they will say, don't say, he's still a thief. You see, the truth gap, the sincerity gap between the government and the people has been widened over the time. So whatever decision any government is taking, some people, somebody like me, will look at it and then read another meaning. I can bet you, if we go deep into this, you're going to see that perhaps, I'm saying perhaps, maybe one of the big manufacturers, one of the big players in this industry has stepped on government's toe.
That's the kind of, why do you really like to tell this? Like you also
listen.
You don't like the government of this.
I said I love that thing is good. Do you understand? I love it. And I told you I researched into it. But we are now looking at, it was Dr. Lorunda that made me to also go that route. So in some of his submissions, do you understand? But having said that, you see, having said that, it is a lesson for anybody to always learn to toe the path of integrity. Okay? Because whatever you do, no matter how laudable it is, people will not look at it. Some people will not look at it. That's why some people will be arguing against this, in quotes now, laudable policy. It's a laudable policy. When you look at the hazards that it portends to the society. Do you understand? But let's leave that. Let's come to solution.
Not before we go to the solution. So now, can we also say this, especially for the environmental hazards, do we say this is also one of a failure of government to sustain its policies and continue some things that are very good done by previous administrations? Should we also blame the government for aside the health hazard now, the environmental hazard we have on the use of styrofoams and all these single-use disposables?
We are still coming back to what I said initially. Insincerity and idiocy of government. Okay? Before now, if not because successive governments have been looking for all those gigantic projects that are not really giving value to our lives. All these things, we wouldn't be talking, by now we'll have finished talking about this kind of a thing. Because these are life-threatening issues that it is not today that a lot of health practitioners have been talking about it. All right? All these, even look at this sachet, this water sachet. Is it good enough? I tell you no. Because
also
those nylon itself, when it's being heated up, emits into the water, into that what we call pure water. Do you understand? And at the end of the day, what happens? People inside Danfo, people inside Molue, people on Okada. Even I have seen people inside their private vehicles before buying pure water on the road. And all those things, they are injurious to our health. To what extent have we been able to curb them? Is NAFDAC not aware? What is the role of NAFDAC in all of this? NAFDAC is supposed to know, because before you can have your pure water factory, NAFDAC, as far as I know, is supposed to go there and inspect and then check all the components that you are using within that factory. So what has been the role of NAFDAC in the past? Even this so-called takeaway, can they produce them without NAFDAC's approval? No. To what extent has NAFDAC been controlling this? So it's an issue. Like I said, this thing we call integrity is a big subject. Do you understand? It's not that I like going certain route or whatever. That's why I'm a technocrat. Okay. I look at things deeper than the way some other people will look at it. Look at yesterday. I have to go as far as even interrogating AI. Chat, whatever you call it, interrogating on this particular issue.
Okay, let me ask Dr. Olorunda. So, do you think the government should go back to that stringent policy we had under Governor Fashola, if it will help to curb specifically the environmental hazard these items cause? Do you think so? Then we can go to look at the alternative. Dr. Olorunda, do I still have you here?
Maybe network.
Hello, Dr. Olorunda. Okay, I guess he will be joining.
You see,
us
as far as I'm concerned, yes, we have to be careful with our environment. We shouldn't wait until when there is an endemic within our society before we now start doing all these rush approach to issues. Look at when cholera outbreak in the 70s. It was because before then there used to be these people they call woolly sanitary inspectors.
We still have them, yeah.
Where are they?
I know people who still work in that agency.
They work there, but to what extent have they been useful to the society? They don't go out again. In those days, when you throw...
I think they still do go out. I understand.
In those days, you know what? In those days, when I was growing up, if you throw as little as a grain of bean on the floor, your mother or your father or neighbor will smack you that, you want Wole to come and sanction this house? Where are they? Have they not compromised? Even if they still exist, have they not compromised? Why are we having buildings breaking down every time? Is it not because some of these people are compromised? What do they call them? Building approval people and the supervisor and all that. Have they not compromised? So was it like this in the past? So what I'm saying is, let us go back even beyond what Fashola did. The issue of Wole should be brought back to our car parks, even at parties. Doctor mentioned that issue of at parties. Go to parties. Go on. I was at a party over the weekend at Ikoro Ekiti. All right. As they were serving, come and see the provider. We're cleaning. I was wondering, They've not finished this and they were still cleaning. As they were serving people, they were cleaning up. They were cleaning up. So we should try as much as possible to imbibe that.
Okay, so let's go to the alternative now because of our time. And I would also like you to address Nigerians. Not just now, this is not just about the government alone.
No.
Yeah, so
it's beyond government. I mentioned I brought in NAFDAC now. But we people have not been saying.
Even Nigerians, Lagosians,
yes.
Because we don't have to let the government choke us with regulations.
Executive members of all these car parks, of all these mechanic villages, of all, everywhere.
Even individuals. So please sensitize us on that and then talk about the alternative
now,
so we can go to the next topic.
I'm sure you will know what they call my elewe. Eh? You know that leaf, that leaf that they use.
That's the alternative.
Wait, now it's part of it. It is part of it. Listen, why are we planning to discard this? Because it is injurious to our health. Go and also do your research on those leaves. Go and do your research on those leaves. You will see that when you use it to cook, it makes your food to be more nutritious. Go and do your research. I've done it. Those leaves, boil them. Even ordinary, those leaves alone. Clean it very well. You clean it very well. Boil it and drink the water. Go and Google it. Google is there. Do you understand? So, if we can encourage, plantation for that particular leaf, all right, it's going to be a veritable alternative. That's number one.
Okay, so please brush up on the rest so we can move
Number
on.
two, banana leaves. Now you see everybody planting banana and plantain.
Is that not the same thing that is the more with it?
No,
banana
it's different. It's different.
Is it?
It's different. Banana leaf is different. That leaf grows on its own like this. That leaf, go and Google it.
So in one word,
that banana leaf, that banana leaf again. Go and Google it. Do you understand? So if only we can move away from all these chemicals and then go what do they call it again? Bio whatever.
Maybe natural.
Do you understand?
Okay.
It will go a long way. Rather than giving us health hazard, it will improve. It will even improve on our health. You will see some people, they be using nylon to wrap my mind. I won't take it.
All right.